Every October, glowing pumpkins with sinister smiles appear on porches, windows, and streets. Some look playful, but others seem alive, watching, waiting. These are the jack-o'-lanterns, and while today we see them as simple Halloween decorations, their history is much darker. The jack-o'-lantern is not just a pumpkin, it is a warning, a cursed relic born from fear itself. Before we uncover the terrifying legend of Stingy Jack and the truth behind these carved faces, let me ask you this. Do you love creepy stories, legends, and haunted history? Then make sure to subscribe right now, because in this channel, every week we step deeper into the shadows. Now let's peel back the skin of the pumpkin and see what really hides beneath. Our story begins centuries ago in Ireland, where superstition was not entertainment but survival. The nights were darker, the winters harsher, and the veil between the living and the dead was believed to be thin. In this world of fear and faith lived a man, whose name still lingers in legend, Stingy Jack. He was no hero, no martyr, just a drunkard, a cheat, and a man who thrived on cruelty. He tricked neighbors out of money, stole when he could, and mocked religion itself. Yet it was not these sins that carved his place in folklore, but the night he crossed paths with the devil. They say Jack met him in a tavern, the smell of stale ale and smoke filling the room. The devil had come to claim Jack's soul, but Jack, ever the trickster, convinced him to buy a final drink. When the devil transformed into a coin to pay, Jack shoved him into his pocket where a crucifix burned and bound him. Imagine the devil himself writhing as holy fire pressed against him, powerless inside a drunkard's pocket. Jack only released him after forcing a deal. The devil could never claim his soul. But victory against darkness never comes without cost. Years passed, and Jack's cruelty only deepened. When death finally came, he approached the shining gates of heaven, but was denied. His life had been a waste of greed and sin, and not even a single prayer could open those gates. Cast out, Jack turned toward hell. Flames licked at the gates, shadows moved like serpents, but the devil was waiting, and the devil remembered. With a grin that split his face, he barred Jack's way. "You may not enter here. You tricked me once, but I keep my word. You will walk this earth forever, Jack. Alone." Desperate, Jack begged for mercy, for light to guide his path. The devil mocked him, but flicked a single ember from the pits of hell, an ember that would never die. Jack hollowed out a turnip, placed the ember inside, and began his eternal wandering. A cursed soul, not welcome in heaven or hell, drifting forever between worlds. That night, travelers whispered they saw a dim, flickering glow in the fog, a lantern moving where no man walked. They called it Jack of the Lantern. Jack-o'-lantern. The tale spread like fire through villages. Farmers swore they saw the glow on stormy nights drifting between fields. Children were warned not to follow strange lights in the dark. Some said if you looked directly into Jack's lantern, you would lose your way and never return home. To protect themselves, the Irish began a strange ritual. They carved grotesque faces into turnips and rutabagas, filling them with burning coals to frighten spirits away. These were not cheerful crafts. They were weapons, shields against the cursed and the damned. Imagine walking through a tiny Irish village during Samhain. The mist is thick, the night endless. On every doorstep sits a turnip, eyes jagged, mouths twisted into gaping grins. The glow is faint but alive, and you feel those carved faces watching, breathing, waiting. These were not decorations. These were guardians. When Irish immigrants crossed the ocean to America in the 1800s, they carried this fear with them. But in the New World, they found something better suited to the ritual: the pumpkin. Larger, softer, easier to carve. Its hollow body was perfect for fire. The jack-o'-lantern evolved, from small turnips that fit in the palm of a hand to massive orange monsters towering on porches, their glow brighter, their faces more terrifying. And though pumpkins seemed harmless as food, when cut open and lit from within, they became something else entirely. Picture the American countryside around 1850. A dirt road stretches into darkness, the air is cold, the moon full. Ahead, a massive pumpkin head glows with crooked eyes and a broken smile. Its grin flickers in the wind and shadows dance behind it. You stop walking. Is it just a lantern? Or is it alive, waiting for you to step closer? In those days, no one thought of candy or costumes. The jack-o'-lantern was a warning, a threat carved in orange flesh. As time passed, fear softened. By the early 20th century, Halloween had begun to change. Communities held parades, children dressed in costumes, and the night turned into celebration rather than terror. Pumpkins became playful, smiling faces, cartoon characters, elaborate works of art. The jack-o'-lantern was tamed, or so people believed, but beneath the laughter, the superstition lingered. Some whispered that every lantern still carried Jack's curse, that the ember inside was more than flame, it was a spark of hell itself, and if the candle inside died too soon, something might slip through the cracks and into your home. What began as protection had become tradition, but the shadow behind, it never fully left. Even today, eerie beliefs cling to the jack-o'-lantern. Some say that carving one with a grotesque, frightening face strengthens its power to repel evil. Others warn that if the face looks too real, too human, it can serve as a vessel, something for a spirit to inhabit. And if you leave your jack-o'-lantern burning too long, the wandering soul of Stingy Jack might be drawn to it. Picture your own pumpkin late at night. The flame inside flickers strangely, casting shadows that don't quite match the carving. You lean closer. For a moment you think you see movement inside the glow, as if something more than fire is staring back. You tell yourself it's just the light. But what if it isn't? From the drunken trickster who fooled the devil, to villagers carving hideous faces in turnips, to the glowing pumpkins that guard our neighborhoods today, the jack-o'-lantern has always been more than decoration. It is a story of damnation, fear, and ritual. Every time we carve a pumpkin, we echo that ancient night when Jack trapped a devil in his pocket, when a cursed soul was left to wander forever. The ritual continues, whether we believe in it or not. So this Halloween, when you cut into the orange flesh and place a candle inside, remember, you are not just making art. You are repeating an old defense. You are warning the dead that they are not welcome here. But be careful. If your flame dies too early, if your carving is too lifelike, if your jack-o'-lantern burns for too long, you might not be keeping Stingy Jack away. You might be inviting him closer. So ask yourself, when the night comes and your lantern begins to flicker, will it keep the darkness outside your door? Or will it open the way for something else to step in?